This is the third episode of Ike the Frontliners. Got a new name now and a new logo. We'll put it over here, even though right now I don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay, we have a new series this time. The first series is of course about tanks, plane and boats, but the plane and boats will come later. Today we got a brand new series. The series is the battle. And the battle for today is the battle for France in 1940. But first, we should have a look at what happened before the Battle of France. Back in 1939, when Germany invaded Poland from the left and the Soviet Union from the right, the UK and France declared war on Germany. You may ask why the Soviet Union also invaded Poland. Why didn't UK and France declare war on them? Because it's about the treaty. After Poland were born, back in the end of World War I, they signed a treaty with UK that if Poland were to be invaded by Germany, France and UK will intervene. And they didn't say other country except Germany, so that's why. Okay, so after Poland was invaded and conquered, France seems to be the next target. And France and the UK are prepared for the old style war, like the trench war back in World War I. But the Germans had come up with a new technique. They used this technique also during the battle for Poland. And that technique was Bliss Peak, the lightning war. For the Bliss Peak is a completely new type of warfare technique. This technique France and UK have never seen before. The main striking force of the Bliss Peak will be the tanks. The tanks, with their great speed and great firepower, will punch holes into enemy lines and circle around them and destroy them. The France and UK were prepared for trench war. So when these new techniques came out, they used planes and dive bomber to destroy enemy key position, and tanks to punch the hole in enemy line, and infantry to expand the invasion inside enemy line. These techniques were extremely powerful. We'll have a look at the army first. For the army, the Germans have been preparing for war since 1933, when the Mustache Man, or a failed artist, got to be a chancellor of Germany. He had been producing new types of tank since 1933. They were more well trained, they got better equipment, and their weapon and their tanks were more superior, and also their aircraft were better too. We'll have a look at the tank in the battle. The first tank that is well known during the Battle for France is the Panzer II. Most of the tanks during the battle were Panzer I and II, the early version. Then the second tank is the Panzer 35Ts and 38Ts. These are Czechoslovakian tanks. They ceased the production of the Czech army, and they produced these tanks for their own army when the Germans invaded Czechoslovakia. And the third tank is the Panzer III, and also the Panzer IVs. And also the Germans have better aircraft such as the Bf-109 and the famous Dunkirk bomber. We'll have a look at the Allies. The Allies are France, UK, Belgium, Netherlands and some Poles. The first tank that is worth mentioning in the French army were the B-1s, extremely well armored and also equipped with two guns, the 75 and the 37mm. But the engine failed many times because of their heavy weights, and also the turrets are prone to jamming because of enemy shells. And also they also used the Sommer S-35, the H-39 and the H-35. And also the British, they used Matilda tanks like the B-1. The Matilda were extremely well armored with the 79mm armor in the front, and also with the powerful guns, but they lacked speed. And also the British also used other cruiser tanks. For the Belgians and the Netherlands, their tank army was almost non-existent. For the French infantry and the UK infantry, for the UK, they haven't been prepared for war that much since World War I. They have an army compared to Germany that have been recruiting new volunteers and recruiting more soldiers. Since 1933, the UK has a smaller force, but these small forces are professional soldiers. For the French, they still suffered a lot of casualty and damage in World War One. It's just two decades before. The French have a lot of manpower, but their weapons were quite outdated. And for the Belgians and the Netherlands, well, their weapons weren't that good. For the Allies Air Force, the Allies, the UK, got the Supermarine Spitfire, the famous fighter of World War II, and the Hawker Hurricanes. For the French, they got the MS 406 Moran. So the Germans were clearly having an air superiority during Battle of France. And we have a look at the battle itself. The battle started on the 10th of May 1940. The Germans sent some distraction unit to attack the Maginot Line. The French will thought that the Germans will attack at the Maginot Line at their thick defenses. But actually they are sending a big group of panzer units through the Ardennes forest. These tank units will punch their way to the River Meuse and then entered the city Sedan. After that, they will punch their way all the way through the British Channel, through the seas. After that, they will separate the main French mainland from the northern area of their allies. After that, they encircled that unit and punched them into the seas. The allies choose an evacuation area to be Calais Beach, but these ideas were quickly thrown away because the Germans overrun the beach. So they choose Dunkirk, the nearest beach. At Dunkirk, the British Commonwealth and the French await their rescue in Dunkirk. Meanwhile, in Britain, Operation Dynamo was finally a goal because of good weather. They rescued the British force from the beach and the French. They rescued almost 300,000 British soldiers and another 100,000 French from the beach. They literally use anything that can float in the country, literally. They got fishing boat to destroyers, fishing boat and any civilian ship that they can find. In conclusion, for the Battle of France, England have to stand alone against the entire German Reich because the entire Western Europe got conquered. The British and the French and other countries like the Netherlands and Belgium and some Polish troops fight valiantly against the German war machine. But they didn't predict or know that the Germans gonna find a new way of destroying their defense line. So in the end, the British have to stand alone against the Germans that will invade them or may not invade them in the future. They will never know. So they start preparing their air force and prepare for the upcoming invasion. We will see you in the next video. I'm the Frontliner signing out. Goodbye.